Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Bashir, man, and for today's video I want to talk about some of my favorite attachment for the Osmo Pocket 3. I've been having this camera for a while now. Been going over a lot of these different attachments, accessories for this camera, and I feel like I have a few that I will never leave the house with, and then a few that I have around that I'll be running back and forth to every now and then. And also I share a setup that I feel like for the everyday content creator, you might want to use this setup because you're not trying to color grade, you're not trying to hire a colorist. You know, it's just you want the best footage you could get straight out of camera. And let's jump into some of my favorite accessories right now. Let's go. So the first attachment I think you need to get for this camera, or any camera at all, is an ND filter or a variable ND filter. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I had ND filters for this, and I had to do a shoot in Dallas, and I left my pouch with my creative combo in the Uber. Never got it back. Lucky thing I had my camera in my hoodie, because I never keep my actual camera in the pouch. I always have it in my pocket or in my hoodie. That's the good thing about this camera. Why I love it is because of the portability and how easy I could just pull it out of my pocket, hit it, and hit record on it. That's the real reason why I bought this camera. But I personally think ND filter is what you need to get first. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I have a variable ND filter. However, this do cause vignetting, and vignetting is basically darker edges on your camera. The ND filter do a better job of giving you a better image than the variable ND filter. But I will say, for the variable ND filter, it's just more portable for me. It's just more convenient. That's the only reason why I'm using a variable. It's more convenient. I don't have to keep switching out NDs trying to get the right one. I basically just hit this on the side and I'm good to go on most occasions. Unless it's like super bright, I might need to grab a heavier ND or something like that. But I do recommend you get an ND filter or a variable ND filter. But for me, just ease of use and just be able to move in a fast pace is one of the reasons why I like this camera. And I'll show you why I said I need to move at a fast pace, why I don't have time to be swapping out NDs. So that's the reason why I suggest getting an ND filter. I'm using the one from K&F. There might be other brands that makes better ND filter than this. This is my second one. The first one break. Just want to be very transparent on that. First one break, but I do skate, so you gotta understand this it ain't built to last, but it works for me perfectly fine. So first thing, suggest a variable ND filter or an ND filter. You choose wisely. The second thing I suggest getting, and I don't care what you do, I feel like this is one of those I must get attachment for this camera, and it's this magnet mount. Listen, you will be surprised how many times this come in hand. This is the reason why I leave most of my accessories at the house, because of this mount here. If you're a gym creator or a gym rat, you make a lot of gym videos, this is all you need. Everything in the gym is metal. You don't need nothing else but this. Might need an ND, but a lot of gym lights be a little bit low, so you should be just to get by with just this attachment. So I definitely think if you're in the gym, get this attachment, the magnet mount for the Osmo Pocket 3. When I tell you this thing works perfect, and it's so easy, and it has the GoPro tabs in the back where you could strap it to other things. So get this thing right here. I strongly think every content creator should have this magnet mount. And I use this, I stick it on signs to get footage. I stick this thing anywhere I need to stick it to get my footage. So I'll show you examples of that, but definitely the number one thing to get for this thing is this magnet mount. Okay. All right. So the third thing I suggest getting for this camera, it's really either or, but I'm just gonna choose the one that I've been bringing the most lately. because it just fits in my bag. It's just not a lot of, it don't take up a lot of space. And lately I've been trying to make my setup as compact as possible. So I'll just grab this and I'll either, I'll grab this and put it where I need to put it, and it works perfectly fine. So what I'm talking about is a articulated arm. This one is the big one, small rig, but I normally grab this one right here. This is a smaller version, articulated arm, and this is by Camvant. So I want to show you the difference. So this is the difference. Like, this is way bigger than this, and I normally take this with me because I could put it in my 6-liter bag and rock out with it, and I'll be good. So if I ever need it, I have it, because not everything is made out of and I can screw this on the things. And if I have this in my bag and I have my other camera, some of the times I just put this on my camera and I'm good to go. So, and then I'll just unscrew it right here. I'll unscrew this thing right here. If I want to, mount it to my FX3, I'll just unscrew it like this, and then I'll just put it right here on my FX3, just like this. And then show it to you. And I could do, and then I'll put it right here, and I'll just screw this in. Well, you get what I'm saying. I'll screw this in, and this is a nice little BTS setup. You fit it how you want to fit it, and you're good to go. So if I want to fit it like this, if I want to go like this, I could do it like this. Just tighten this baby up. And there you go. This is a nice little BTS setup I have. While I'm shooting, I could have it like this while shooting. So this is basically key. And this is from Camvant, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's from Camvant. And as I said, I bring this one more than I'll bring the small rig version because it's smaller, more compact, and it fits right into my 6-liter. If I'm bringing my 6-liter bag from PGY Tech, it fits perfect in here. I'll have my FX3 in here. I have my 16-35 in here, small mic, and I'll have my Osmo Pocket 3 with those 3 attachments, the VND, the Camvant, and I'll have this. All of this fits in here. So that's the reason why my compact setup, everything goes in this bag. So that's the reason why these are my 3 favorite setup. Okay, so let me jump in right here, and I'm going to show you the setup that I typically use while I'm shooting with the DJI Osmo. And then I'm going to show you another setup that if you are a creator but you hate to color grade, you might want to use this setup. So let's go. So first I'm going to show you what I normally use. So I'm going to swipe up, and I'm going to change the resolutions from 1080p to 4K. I'm going to keep it in 24 frames per second because I typically shoot in 24 frames per second. However, if I wanted to do slow motion, I will change it to 60 frames. I do have a setup in my camera set up already for 60 frames, and I'll show you how to do that. So that's the first thing I will adjust. Then I'm going to swipe left, and then I'm going to go over. Typically it will look like this. So you just tap the Pro button at the top, and I'm going to go over here. So the first thing I will do is I will adjust the exposure. So I'm going to go here, and for my exposure, I'm going to go manual. So because we're shooting in 24 frames, you want to shoot your shutter to be at 50 frames. Now, if I had changed from 24 to 60, I will go up and I will change this to 120. So you just want to double whatever your frames per second is while you're shooting. So since I'm shooting in 24 frames, I'm gonna go down to 50 because that's the closest value to it. So typically my ISO ranged from 50 to 800. I normally don't go past these 2 values only because it's just a lot of grain after you go up to 1600, 3200. It just introduced a lot of grain. Some people don't mind the grain, but I do. But so I keep it between 800 and 50. My sweet spot though is always 200 for some reason. I try to keep it at 100 to 200 as much as possible. So that will be the first thing I do. I'm gonna hit confirm, and then I'm gonna go over to white balance. For me, if I'm in somewhere that's consistent lighting, I'll probably just adjust the white balance. If I'm indoors, I'll probably try to get close to 45 to 46 normally works good indoors. If I am outside, I normally try to stay in the values between 5500 to 5600. However, I've been using auto white balance and it's been working perfectly fine for me. So I keep it in auto, and plus it's just one less thing I gotta change instead of, you know, while I'm shooting. So my color space is normally D-Log M. I color grade my footage. I have a color grade that I typically just throw on this footage and it goes perfect. So I keep it in D-Log. My glam effect is normally off. Let's swipe up. My focus mode is normally in continuous. However, sometimes I do use product showcase mode, but 90% of the time it's gonna be into continuous. So let's leave that right there. For breathing compensation, it's normally off, and for image adjustment, I normally goes down to -2 for sharpness and -2 for noise reduction. And that would be the setup that I typically use on an everyday basis. And I will go back and forth with the exposure. If I need more light, I'll add more light. But for me, I have an ND that lives on my camera, so I'll adjust this to get what I want back and forth. So that's my ND right there. So it typically lives on the camera. So after I've done that, I will now save my setup, and I will go here, and then I'll save it here. If you go over to 1, you'll see that I have this exact thing set up in 1. Video 4K 16:9, 24 frames per second, D-Log M with white balance, automatic white balance. That's where I would save it. So if you want to save, you'll just go to 1, click 1, and that's it. You'll just hit confirm. Since I already have it set up, I won't hit confirm, but that's what you will do. Now, if I just got the Osmo Pocket and I don't want to color grade, this would be the settings that I will use. Now, I'll keep my resolution at 4K, frame rates at 24, and then I'll slide back over. So I'll slide over and then go to exposure. So for exposure, I will go to auto, and I'll keep the values in between 50 and 800. My exposure value, I'll do -0.3 for my exposure value, just so when I'm recording the video, it will be just slightly underexposed and not overexposed. If I need to add a little bit of light in post, I can, but just slightly underexposed. And then I'll just leave that the exposure like that. White balance, I'll leave in auto, because as I said, it do a pretty decent job in auto. Then I'll go down, I'm still leaving the glam effect off, and I'll change the color space to normal 10-bit. I'll still keep the focus mode into continuous, compensation off, and these values will be custom, and I will still have it at sharpness -2, noise reduction at -2, and I'll leave it at that. And that will be the setup I will be using if I don't want to color grade. Plus, one thing I noticed that in this mode that you don't have in D-Log, you have this little brackets right here that you could tap to 2x zoom. If you put this camera into D-Log, yeah, it disappears. You don't have it. You have to come to the side right here and swipe up and down. But I do like the little feature with the brackets right here you could hit to quickly 2x zoom. So those 3 is what I use the most. but I feel like I wouldn't be doing y'all justice to show you the other stuff I actually have and that I also use too, but these are definitely for specific shots that I need and depends on what my setup is today. So when I'm doing a lot of BTS, definitely need a tripod. This is my tripod I use most from Ulinzy. This thing works perfect. Just has a little flex joint right here where, you know, you could change your little setup, but it works perfect for me and I use this a lot. And if I feel like if you do a lot of talking headshots like what I'm doing right now, and you have the Osmo Pocket, especially if you do it on Osmo Pocket, you might just need this. You probably don't need the other stuff that I have other than the VND, but you might just need this. This is really clutch. I use this a lot too. One of my favorite things. So for all my car shots and a lot of different shots, I got to have my Falcon suction cup. Like this baby right here, most of the stuff I do in the car, I have this thing on. I always use my Falcon suction cup. All my car videos, it's so small where you just press this button right here on the side, and you good to go. You get suction cup, and once again, the screw right there in the bottom. So I use this a lot as far as the car videos go. This is my go-to for all the car videos that you do. And if you're a content creator, you might want to get one of these because you don't have to use it in the car. My thing is just, it got to be compact. So if it can't fit in my bag, I'm not gonna bring this in my bag. You know, I'd rather just bring my my articulated arm and I'll be good. But this works perfect. I really think if you do car videos, this is all you need right here. So for my next attachment is actually the POV view, which is right here. Also a good way to show BTS for me. Other people might use it to do different things. I use it to show BTS, and I also use it while I'm skating. I'll put this on and I'll start to skate. This will be my POV view while I'm skating. I will say though, with the Osmo Pocket 3, because of how it's built, it hangs off a little bit. My hands be hitting it. So while I'm going like that from side to side, my hands sometimes hit it and it will knock the view that I want. So just bear in mind, you know, that's one of the problems with this setup. Something like the Action Cam 5 would probably be perfect for this because it will be more towards your body and my hand won't be able to hit it. So that's something to look into, but I still use it. I'm gonna use what I have. That's one thing for sure. So this is what I use to get the POV. So this is another setup that I suggest getting if you're into like action sports. This is definitely a go. So another accessory I suggest getting, which I believe I actually got these in like a pack. I think I got this, the chest piece, and a couple other smaller accessories in one package. I'll see if I could find it. Is this clip right here for the bag. Now I have to try this out just a little bit more to really say this is the go, but I do like it because, you know, it's like off to the side. You put it off to the side and it goes. My only problem is I feel like this won't be as sturdy as I need it to be. But the good thing of why a lot of people buy the Osmo is because the footage be stable. Maybe my walking, maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, but actually this might be something good. Like if you're a photographer and you're trying to get those shots like the camera and you're trying to see the back of the camera, this might be a good option. Now you might want to look at something like this. You could get a good POV of the back of the camera and the client. So I do suggest, you know, getting like this. What I will do different though, I might work on a different setup because I don't like how this comes off so easy. I know Peak Design has a better base mount right here that I might try, and I'll just adapt it to, I might just adapt it to that. So this is just more sturdy right here and clamp on just a little bit more on the strap. But this is another setup that I use right here. The last thing I suggest is definitely a light. A lot of content creator might already walk with a light. I've seen a lot of light that's out there, but definitely walk with a light. For this camera, I don't think it gets you the best low light footage, but you definitely don't mind adding light to it, especially, you know, to get that good footage. So I suggest the MC Aperture MC light. I know there's better options out now for probably a better price. I think this light, when I bought it, was like $100. They gotta be, from the time I have this light, there gotta be more options out there. My favorite light is actually right here. Let me actually give this light some love. F7 pocket light. This bad boy. When I tell you a light be lighting, look at this light. This is a great light to have. Like, man, this is all you really need. Photographers, if you don't have this light, look into this light. It's RGB too, but it's bright. I will say you only get a good 2 hours out of it if you're at full power, so be mindful of that. But yeah, so those are all the attachments I will suggest just to think about. You definitely don't need to have all of them. Maybe one or two might work best for you with what you do, because DJI already give you a few when you start, but you might already have some of this stuff or something that's similar to it. So definitely look into it, but you can never go wrong with having these.